Drivers are working their way through the tri-oval. Nathan Reynolds and Garrett Rainey of the Alabama gang here at Talladega looking for the green. Well, they're kind of stacking up through the field here. It was not a great start on both lines after about row number 6 or 7.
Yeah, big lead there off the start for Reynolds. Gainey had the opportunity to pretty much take any line he wanted to as well. They're in the second row.
Shuffling away through the field.
But now here comes the run on the outside. It is Garrett Rainey with help from John Kay. All three of our title contenders are here in the top 6.
It's Rainey to lead lap 1. So might see some drivers start making their way onto pit road here. Indeed, here we go. Brandon Gainey from second, others in tow here as well. A couple of drivers really sending it in the back of the pack, but everybody stays clean. No speeding penalties.
Pretty good group there. Interesting development here. Gunter and Poliski leapfrogged that first group that came into pit. And they are now catching John Kay, Reynolds, and others. And
wow,
it will be close if they can hang on. I think they'll be able to.
That is mega.
Kay and Reynolds are going to have to hustle it here.
I mean, we were talking about the opposite of this happening, and boy, they have just certainly put our foots right in our collective mouth. I mean, yes, John Kay is certainly going to catch on to the draft here and bring everybody along with him, but man, what incredible work here by Poliski and Gunter to find themselves at the front of this field.
Strategically place himself where he needs to.
Breeding and Bartel get together, and it's on.
Poliski's involved big time here.
Oh, no. Kay and Reynolds make it through. The 32 does not. Yeah, I think that truck is good to go.
Unbelievable. He's just asking for a little bit of help, but...
Oh, no! He turns Mandy! Oh, no!
Oh, and Gainey gets involved here as well. Poliski down into the 34 of Dylan, the 99 of Salamoni as well.
As Ryan Dye is clear to move down if he wants. Flanky's going to take it. He takes Gainey out. They crash into the inside wall. Now they're wrecking behind. The big one is on.
Reynolds involved. He's down to oh my, John Kay's involved big time. Poliski gets bashed into again.
Brody Gunter in here as well. Kyle Dumig, I think, is going to make it through. This wreck happened as the caution was already out. The first one I saw go around was TJ Bartel.
Bartel is trying to move up into the third lane. He comes across the nose of Andy Poliski, who is being pushed by Corey Rutherford. Poliski really couldn't slow down. It knocks Jan Van Leer out of shape as well, and this is where the rest of that big one starts.
Now that one is ugly.
Big time.
Cole Maxwell thinking about jumping out of the line. He's missed his chance. Here's Dino to the outside with help from Jan Van Leer and Pascal Samard. The top line is going to get a run. It's going to be enough for Dye to want to jump up top.
Dye still being pushed by Maxwell here through the corner.
Maxwell trying to open the door. He's going to swing to the outside. All bets are off. The final trip through the tri-oval. Dye with help from Zittel. Ryan Dye is going to walk away with the victory as the entire field crashes behind him at Talladega. Ryan Dye is back to victory lane. Incredible. Nathan Palawota to second. Kevin Sargent is going to round out the podium. Are you kidding me? What just happened? Now that was the big one. Wow. That's an absolute junkyard. Yeah, holy cow.
We'll take another look here as Ryan Dye is coming to the finish. This is what happens behind him.
This is one for the highlight reel. And the celebration is on.
And he has put in
so pumped up.
He's put in his lower third. Dear Matt, this is all your fault. Well, I am glad to claim this one, partner. What a ride.
It all started 15 weeks ago at Daytona International Speedway, and it closes out tonight at Charlotte Motor Speedway. 16 rounds, and after 15 complete and 1 to go, there's still 3 drivers in it for the championship. 1 driver looking for their 3rd title, 1 driver looking for their 2nd championship in a row, and 1 driver looking to taste championship glory for the first time. There's going to be bumping, there is going to be beating and banging all over this mile and a half, and in the spirit of bumping and beating and banging, tonight's race is called the It's Bristol, baby, at Charlotte 195. And round number 16, the finale of season number 6 of the Venom Truck Series, is around the turn on turn 200.
A blind night that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon deep, endangered by competitors, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The dungeon labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
Presentation. Welcome back to the virtual Queen City. Welcome back to Charlotte Motor Speedway. Welcome back to Turn 200's coverage of the Venom Truck Series. Welcome to the New York Jets fan suffering zone. It's Tommy Cook here. Not a New York Jets fan, Mr. Matt Williamson, but you are certainly reveling in my misery here tonight, whether you want to be or not. But fear not, because to overcome my blues, we've got a championship race afoot here tonight.
Yeah, not just a championship race. It is a very close championship race, and generally at the end of these things, we see it usually between 2 drivers. Well, boy, we got a special treat here in Season 6 of the Venom Truck Series. 3 drivers very much in this fight for the championship, and none of them feel particularly good about this track, so it could get interesting.
Absolutely, but they should feel particularly good about their seasons up to this point in their body of work, and that will be exemplified by Our little bitty graphic right here, Matt Williamson. Walk us through what we're looking at and maybe some of the clinch scenarios here for these drivers.
Yeah, this is going to look a little busy, but we're going to walk through it here. First of all, we just have some statistics here. Nathan Reynolds, he's a 2-time champion. He has 4 wins this season, 8 podiums. Average finish is 7.4, right in the middle of those other 2 drivers. But he has led the most laps of anybody. He is in the lead right now, and he needs an 8th or better, and he will have clinched the championship no matter what anybody else does. Now, Andy Poliski, he is the reigning champion from Season 5. He has 3 wins this season, also 8 podiums. The best average finish of these 3 drivers, only 168 laps led. With a win and a Nathan Reynolds 9th or worse, Andy Poliski can take this championship home tonight. Then we have John Kay. This is his first opportunity to taste the big gold. 4 wins, 7 podiums. The worst average finish of these drivers, but a lot of laps led with a win and a Poliski 3rd or worse and a Reynolds 13th or worse. John Kay has the opportunity to take the big gold home here tonight.
And I will say a big asterisk next to John Kay's because that took a lot of math. Math is not my strong suit, and I'm the one that made that graphic. So we think that's about right. And going over it in my head, I still think it's pretty close, but we'll wait for the final numbers if things start to stack up in John Kay's favor here down the line. As it is the end of the season here in season number 6, that does mean that it's award season. And these drivers were just informed of some of the voted on awards and, of course, the Rookie of the Season award, which has been well in hand for quite some time now for Nathan Palawoda. But these other 3 awards are voted on by the drivers of the Venom Truck Series.
Yeah, and you mentioned it, Nathan Palawoda, Rookie of the Season. He also won Sportsman of the Season, so drivers enjoyed racing out there with Nathan Palawoda here in Season 6. The most improved driver is Luke Peterson. Preach, Luke Peterson. And I couldn't agree more. He has really stepped it up this year. Had some really, really great finishes. He's put together a great season here. And most popular driver is Nathan Reynolds. Took us a little bit by surprise, but everybody showing their love for Nathan Reynolds here this season.
And, you know, it's only surprising because John Kay's had that award unlocked. He's the Bill Elliott or the Dale Jr. of the Venom Truck Series, essentially. So it is a little bit surprising in that regard. But, you know, Nathan Reynolds does hook these drivers up with quite a bit of knowledge and know-how through his channel Car Inside, which has been so gracious to sponsor all of our Venom Truck Series competition this season and provide us with the Car Inside cams, and that is no different than what we've got here tonight. Car Inside cameras, I believe, for all 3 of our championship contenders at Charlotte and a couple of other folks as well.
Yep, we got those Car Inside cameras. We're actually looking at Nathan Reynolds right now. Seems to be in good spirits, trying to take this thing as light as possible. He obviously has the best chance here tonight. We also have, as you mentioned, our other championship contenders. Here's John Kay, looking serious as always. He's always got that determined look on his face when he's behind the wheel of that truck. And then, obviously, we have, well, if I could find him, their names are all jumbled up right now. Here's Andy Poliski. Andy Poliski, he's got the VR headset on here tonight, as always, getting himself locked in and ready for some laps around Charlotte.
Ryan W. cheering on our thumbnail driver, Cole Maxwell. Wes Brown, as always, cheering for Rodney Matney. And also Eric Elgin cheering on Cole Maxwell as well. Jacob Nagy in the chat. Nathan Deal says Nathan Reynolds is slower than a sloth in molasses. And we'll have to see how that is going to go. I will say Nathan Reynolds' race pace in practice was not quite there, but a much better qualifying effort for the 2-time series champion. But how about this for a swing? John Kay on the pole for the 3rd time this season. And it could not have come at a better time for driver number 2. Brody Gunter, outstanding qualifying effort for him again here tonight. He starts to the outside pole. Chad Stearns back in the field here tonight. He can throw a wrench into things running up front. He starts in third. Of course, we just mentioned Nathan Reynolds. He will roll off from the outside of row number 2 and inside of his clinch scenario here to start. Steve Roman then will line up in 5th. Andy Poliski needs a big night here tonight. He starts on the outside of row number 3. Two-time series champion coming off of his first win of the season, Ryan Dye rolls off from 7th. Sportsman of the Year, Rookie of the Year, Nathan Palawoto rolls off from 8th. Jeremy McKinnon has won the only race here in series history. He starts in 9th. Will Salamone will line up to his outside in 10th. Row number 6 on the inside, Kyle Zittel to his outside, Brantley Gainey. Podium finisher last week, Kevin Sargent starts in 13th. Garrett Rainey to his outside in 14th. TJ Bartell and Oz Kinar on row number 8. Breach Luke Peterson then, and Flanky Roberts on row number 9, and Eric Breeding, Pascal Samard round out row number 10. Rest of the starting lineup will scroll on through here as Matt Williamson prepares to give us the lay of the land for the season finale here in season number 6. It is Bristol, baby, at Charlotte.
Well, we have 130 laps around Charlotte Motor Speedway here tonight. Our fuel window is about 50 laps probably. So we are looking at a 2-stopper here tonight. 3 extra sets of tires and 0 fast repairs for the drivers of the Venom Truck Series.
One thing about the trucks here, for about the first 5 laps, I think they're going to be loose, loose, loose. And if we can get 5 laps under green, it's going to get tight, tight, tight. Just like that. This track is difficult to get a grip on at any point, let alone when you're racing on it for a championship. As the pole sitter John Kay, 4th place starter Nathan Reynolds, and 6th place starter, the reigning champion Andy Poliski. All are going to be in the thick of it here. Coming to the start zone, the final 130 laps of the season are about to get underway. We're racing at Charlotte for a championship. Gunter back into a battle for 3rd. Reynolds on the outside as Chad Stearns has moved his way up into 2nd.
Yeah, and Reynolds, we've mentioned it. He doesn't need to take any unnecessary chances here tonight. Just needs to have pretty much a decent top 10 finish, and that's going to wrap it up for him. So probably not wanting to get into any big skirmishes, especially here early on in the race. Also gets to save those tires for the long run.
Andy Poliski talked to me a little bit before this race, and he said, the only person I'm expecting Nathan Reynolds to race tonight is me. And he knows how to get to the front and stay at the front here at Charlotte. But in our only race here in season history, or in series history rather, back in season 2, Reynolds was in the lead when he got wrecked out of the race in the tri-oval. So he wants to avoid a similar fate here tonight. As Gunter and Stearns battling side by side. There goes Gunter!
My goodness.
Gunter up into the wall. Most everybody is going to get through here. The caution is going to come out. And I didn't see it, but if it was that big, it had to be really noticeable.
I mean, we'll go back and take a replay. I wasn't watching it extremely closely, but, I mean, it almost looked like half a car or half a truck width or maybe even a whole truck width in between Gunter and Stearns there. That was crazy.
Yeah, Reynolds corroborates your story. He says that's the worst netcode I've ever seen.
Go ahead and crack up this replay here. Gunter was busy early on here in the race. He passed Reynolds and then got past Stearns, and then Stearns was trying to battle back here. That is an entire truck width of netcode to put the 01 into the wall. That is unbelievable. I have never seen it like that. Even with the drivers in South America and all kinds of different places, I don't think I've ever seen it that bad.
So we had an accident under caution. As the field was getting checked up, Corey Rutherford piled into the back of Paul Sargent. Sargent came down the track and hit Tyler Burgert. Makes some extensive damage, particularly for the 44 and the 49.
Well, I'll try to find the replay of that here as well. See everybody getting checked up. Oh, yeah. Rutherford gets into the back of Sargent here. Yep, there's Burgert. Right up the track into Burgert. Dylan, he puts himself kind of in the wall to try to avoid it. So minimal contact for the 34, but yeah, that was kind of an odd place for that caution to come out and everybody checking up in weird areas with the pace car and everything.
Yeah, that was just a weird one all around with the horrendous netcode there. What an incredible job by Mark Dillon Jr. with just catching the tail end of that replay to not pile into Paul Sargent there. That was fantastic work from him.
Yeah. Absolutely sent it sideways to try to stay away from that one, and he accomplished his job there.
The only 5 drivers that hit pit road there were Gunter, Rutherford, Burgert, Dillon, and Sargent. Dillon, again, no contact, but I'm sure wants to get fresh tires, or at least some fuel maybe. But everybody else has damage to repair. I think Gunter actually had a meatball flag, but it got cleared pretty quick. I'm sure still some repairs to be made, though.
Yeah, and while we're here under caution, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in here to the Season 6 finale of the Venom Truck Series. I know we're all looking for a good one here, as there are a lot of championship scenarios on the line for the drivers, but thank you for tuning in to the Venom Truck Series and Turn 200 in general. Very much appreciate y'all being here, and we've had quite a few chatters and a couple people that we either haven't seen in a long time, or I don't know if we've ever seen before at all. So thank you to everybody that's in here in the chat and watching tonight.
Donald St. Germain, I don't believe Hunter, Engrave, or Lee in the tonight. I can't think of another Hunter that's in the Venom Truck Series either, unless I'm really blanking on something huge. But regardless, I think he's turned on Nathan, one of them. Reynolds is in 3rd after the accident there. Palavota is up in the top 10. And, of course, we got Melissa Reynolds in the chat cheering on Nathan here. The Intimidator doing all he can to stay towards the front and stay out of trouble if at all possible. Again, 8th or better, and Reynolds has his 3rd championship locked up. And he says the championships are titles that he never lost because he went part-time after winning his 2nd championship. This is his first full-time season back.
Yeah, I think he feels like he has a little something to prove, and we got a lot of laps left to prove it officially.
Yes, indeed. Anything can happen, as we just saw. Sometimes the sim has its own things in mind. Back underway. Good start here for John Kay.
Good start for Kay. That inside line gets checked up a little bit behind Reynolds. Pretty bad start for the rest of that inside line. Also notable, Poliski started 4th here, and now he's on the outside of Reynolds.
Poliski and John Kay are doing all that they can do here. They are passing Reynolds as they get awfully tight there out of 4. And letting the chips fall as they may from there. Poliski to the outside as Stearns looking for 2nd as John Kay leading the way. Nathan Palavota around the outside of Steve Vroma to try and move into the 7th position, and does.
This is a great opportunity to go car inside with Nathan Reynolds, the owner of Car Inside. We just watched Poliski get around Stearns there on the outside. Reynolds doesn't look to be in too much of a hurry to get around the 05.
Well, what might motivate him would be Andy Poliski getting around John Kay. Poliski is trying here early in the run. Here goes Reynolds side of Stearns now to try and get to third. Of course, the championship race is rigged. We all know that. We all knew they were going to run 1, 2, 3. They all have grip hacks. They're all allowed to get away with it. That's a joke. That is a joke. But no, I mean, these three have been running 1, 2, 3 all season long. Would you expect anything else here tonight?
Not at all. Wow, we have a big cluster here behind them. We're going to go off a car inside here for a second. We were with Andy Poliski. Now we're going to turn our attention a little bit farther back here. Back half of the top 10. Palawota, Zittel right side by side. Then McKinnon and Vroman as well. Salamoni and I think, yeah, that's Brantley Gainey are side by side also. TJ Bartel inserting himself in here. This is getting pretty wild. Mike Berry's in the chat here as well, one of the Trump 200 drivers. Putting together a pretty good season, cheering on Nathan Reynolds.
Had himself a great night last night.
Certainly did.
The top 5 for Mike Berry. And willing on Nathan Reynolds here. He's lost a little bit of time to Poliski here. But it could just be him playing the long game here. I think Charlotte is sneaky tough on the tires. I don't think you realize it until you're deep in the run and you're like, oh, I'm in serious trouble here.
Yeah, I'm not even sure it's sneaky tough. I think it's just tough.
It's just one I wouldn't think of normally when I think of tire wear tracks until I'm, halfway into the run. And then I remember. So maybe Reynolds trying to combat that here, giving some space to the top 2. And again, Reynolds doesn't need to do any more than he's doing right now. He has the championship as they run. And could even give up a couple of positions, although I don't think he wants to drop back into this.
No, certainly not. I mean, he's probably pretty content trying to extend this gap from him to Stearns and let John Kay and Andy Poliski duke it out in front of him. Probably best case scenario for him other than just walking away with it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was the nerves amongst the top 3, but none of them sounded even remotely confident heading into tonight, which is odd for them.
Yeah, I mean, usually they feel pretty good about their chances pretty much anywhere they go. And, I was surprised to hear that none of them were really feeling that great about tonight. I'm not sure if it's the truck and the track combo that they don't really enjoy or what. I mean, we just mentioned how sneaky tough it can be, and I feel like maybe they maybe underestimated Charlotte a little bit coming in here into tonight. I know that they put the work in.
Yes, they certainly did. Reynolds is closing up now on Poliski. Yeah, that's the one thing you can be sure of. These guys logged a ton of laps here this week.
They've all been very absent from other series that we generally see them in, and it's because they were gearing up for this.
First battle on the track for now is Zittel and Palawota side by side for 6th. Zittel on the march. Palawota starting to slide a little bit.
Yeah, Zittel and Palawota have been battling ever since the restart pretty much here. Just cannot get away from each other.
I think of Palawota getting Sportsman of the Season. And, of course, he's a very good driver on track, but off track, a couple of instances with other drivers, including with Kyle Zittel. A lot of growth and development in this young sim racer here, familiarizing himself with the drivers of the league. And great to see as here goes Poliski underneath of John Kay to try and take the race lead. And Reynolds has an open door in front of him. Kay is up in the gray. Loses a ton of time, loses the lead, and now might be in jeopardy of losing second.
Yeah, you start to drift up the track, and it's very, very difficult to get it back here at Charlotte. You kind of have to roll out of it big time. to try to get the balance of the truck to start turning there in the corner, and he lost the nose, chased it up, and just couldn't hang on to it. Reynolds is going to get around here as well. Oh, I thought Reynolds was going to try to dive to the inside of Poliski.
Well, he could have tried. I don't know how far he would have gotten, though. Chad Stearns and Ryan Dye are pulling up on this trio now as well. And Ryan Dye looking to carry some momentum into next season after a tough season for him. Chad Stearns is just always here to win. So these two know what they have to do here. Caitlin McLaughlin in the chat saying, thanks for entertaining our family. Thank you for watching. We appreciate it. Brantley Gainey fighting to get in the top 10 right now. Hope to see you next season. Next season is not too far away. October 17th, we're back at Daytona. Other races to be announced, but we know for sure Daytona is opening up. Season number 7 in just about a month's time.
Yeah, not much of an off season here in the Venom Truck Series. They get about a month break, I think 5 weeks, and they're right back at it. But a lot of them will race on Tuesdays elsewhere while they have their breaks. So really not much of a break at all for these drivers.
Poliski's begging for a break right now, both from Nathan Reynolds and for himself, for Nathan Reynolds to start losing some positions here. Here's Reynolds to the outside. Poliski sticking right to that paint. Or trying to anyway. It's tough at this point in the run. Fun fact, if you didn't know, the paint actually has more grip than the track here.
I learned that in real life from Ryan Blaney this year.
There you go. Poliski doing all he can. Side draft in the 38. Reynolds with a door out in front. And a great maneuver there. It should be all 38 out front. Nathan Reynolds sitting pretty, leading the way.
And now here comes Chad Stearns to take over this third position here of John Kay. So John Kay starting to slip back a little bit.
Well over 100 laps to go in this race, but Poliski and Kay are watching their championship hopes drive away from them.
Kay able to stave off Chad Stearns, but as you mentioned, that's not the most important thing on his mind. He knows that he has to win this race and hope that the chips fall even worse for those two drivers in front of him.
I mean, it's been a great season for John Kay, a breakout season even. So we expect him to be up front and win races, but his consistency through the first 3 quarters of the season were, only matched by the two drivers in front of him. But some problems the last couple of weeks have put him in this little bitty hole at the worst time possible.
Yeah, and he was part-time last season, showed a lot of promise. I know he won a race for sure. I think he may have won 2, actually.
Last season?
Yeah.
He won, I think he only won at North Wilkesboro. Yep.
Okay.
And he had won a race before that the season before we came along.
Gotcha. Well, regardless, he was part-time, but won at North Wilkesboro. Showed a lot of speed in the races he did show up to. So I'm not going to say it's a total surprise to see him in the championship hunt, but certainly, as you said, a breakout season for John Kay as he's still trying to fight off the 05 here, but you and I both know how difficult that is.
Absolutely. Chad Stearns spells trouble for these guys whenever he arrives on the scene here week to week. But John Kay did a nice job and actually got a great run down the back straightaway. Made some time up on Andy Poliski.
Yeah, Kay is utilizing this top side, saving a little bit of tire, getting big runs off the corners. I think that is the preferred line on the racetrack right now, as you mentioned, gaining on the 32. And a lot of our drivers don't feel comfortable up there on the top side. They're still running the bottom.
I wouldn't, that's for sure.
It's hard to stick it there, that's for certain. A lot of love for Cole Maxwell in the chat. Cole is in this number 3 truck, sitting in 22nd currently.
I thought he had the winning move last week at Talladega. I really did. And then it went kablooey.
He certainly gave it his all. You can't fault him for that. It just did not quite work out as he had hoped. But, yeah, I mean, had such a great chance at that one. And the chips just did not quite fall his way.
Or for anybody, really. Other than Palawoto, Sargent, and Poliski, who got to fly through there at full speed. That's about it. Speaking of Ryan Dye, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, no, for sure.
Well, I was going to say he's in a side-by-side battle with Steve Roman here for the final spot in the top 5. Way up the track. Has to roll out of it not to cream the wall there. And that's going to open the door for TJ Bartell, who's the big mover through the field right now. Up 8 spots, now make him up 9.
That's what's scary about running that top side. If you just miss the entry point a little bit, get it too far in there, it is so difficult to not run that truck right up into the wall. And now John Kay is pulled right up to the bumper. Poliski's up the wall. He's into it.
Oh, down the track.
Kay.
Oh, man. Here goes Chad Stearns. Oh, boy. When it rains, it pours. Nathan Reynolds a second ahead of now Chad Stearns as Kay gets the move done on Poliski, but loses the spot to Chad Stearns right away.
And Reynolds is out front. It's clean, it's green, and a clear track in front of the 38.
Reynolds led the most laps this season. Poliski has just as many wins as Nathan Reynolds this season, but a lot of his wins, at least early in the season, came on short bursts of leading. I think with his victories in round 1 and round 3 of the championship, he led a combined 9 laps. Andy Poliski did. Reynolds and John Kay, especially at the early portions of the season, were leading a ton of laps.
Yeah, we saw it in the graphic earlier. Over 500 laps led for both John Kay and Nathan Reynolds, and Andy Poliski was under 200. So, more laps led for Poliski this season, I think, than last. But he just knows when to get it done. He's the ultimate strategist. He knows he doesn't have to push too hard in the beginning of these races and lead all the laps.
Oh!
He just knows how to lead the important ones.
Roman just pounded the wall at turn 4 and nearly came down the track into TJ Bartell. So that gives Bartell the 5th position, and of course he is one of these great drivers on the long run. And he is marching through the field and marching right up to the championship contenders here.
Ryan Dye is pulled right up next to him as well, so Dye will try to take the position.
And Nathan Palawoto right here in step with these two as well. Palawoto now to the outside of Dye. This is 6th, 7th, and 8th here.
And if anybody's wondering, trying to do math at home, if we're going to split this thing evenly, lap 43 or 44 would work. To basically split this race into even thirds. So we're not too far off from pit stops here, probably.
We got a Let's Go 22 in the chat. Last time we checked in on Brantley Gainey, he was in 12th. He's now up to 9th as here goes Poliski to the inside of John Kay to try and move back onto the podium.
And one of the best...
Ooh, Kyle Dumick trying to get off pit road here. Sorry.
One of the best long-run drivers here in Bartell is coming right up to the bumpers of the 32 and the 2.
Jeremy McKinnon has just hit pit road here, so He is certainly one to mix it up on strategy. I think was running inside the top 10, or at least was at one point this race. So Poliski, K, and Bartel battling for the third spot. They have fallen a second behind Chad Stearns now, who is 1.4 seconds behind the race leader.
Bartel now able to get underneath of K. That bottom lane this late in the run just doesn't really work out, but K's going to try it here on Poliski.
I mean, what's he got to lose at this point?
And the three of these drivers are just leapfrogging their runs with each other.
Yes.
Like a hot potato. One of them gets a good run, kind of gets backed up into somebody else. Then the other one gets a good run, and then Bartel puts his front bumper right on the rear bumper of both of those drivers. And this driver in the Colts number 8, this is Dumig, who you mentioned was coming out of the pits, so he's on fresh tires.
Okay, I think he kept it out of the wall, but it was awfully close. Some drivers radioing they'll be pitting this time. Pascal Samard is one from just inside the top 20. So we are coming up pretty quickly here on pit stops, like you mentioned.
Bartel right underneath of John Kay here. If Kay wanted to come to the pits this time, this could keep him from being able to.
Kay's usually the first in or the last in. And people have already beat him to pit road here, including Paul Sargent. So he might be in it to try for an overcut.
I am a bit surprised that he didn't try the undercut here, but maybe saving it for a little bit later on in this race.
Jan Van Leer, Paul Elson, Cole Maxwell, all on pit road.
Cole Maxwell, shout out to Thomas Maxwell in the chat here on Cole.
Here's John Kay. Oh, he locks it up. I don't know how he didn't just pile into the barrels there. That was sketchy. The other thought about going long in this stint is cold tires are so touchy here. It's very possible we could see a caution at any moment, and you do not want to be trapped a lap down, especially if you're one of the championship contenders. Will Salamone pitting this time.
Chad Stearns, Andy Poliski in here as well from the front.
Kyle Zittel.
Bartel had gotten around Poliski before pit stop started, but Nathan Reynolds still leading here. 3 seconds out in front of the 74.
Steve Roman and Brantley Gainey will be pitting this time. Garrett Rainey as well.
There's Rainey pulling down to get onto pit road here.
Bartel. Michael Dean. Tyler Berger. Go ahead.
Palavota still battling here.
Here comes the race leader. In the championship leader, Nathan Reynolds. He's had a couple of pit road problems this season. Hoping to avoid them. Not speeding on pit entry.
Yeah, it looked like a conservative, very clean entry there for your race leader and series points leader, Nathan Reynolds. He knows what he's got to do. Just mistake-free here tonight. That should do it for him.
Rodney Matney is in pit road. Luke Peterson is pitting this time. In and out for the 38, expecting him to cycle out to the lead here. Got beat to pit road a couple of laps earlier by the other championship contenders, but I think he's got the pace to stay out in front, and just as I say that, maybe not. There goes John Kay.
Yeah, Kay has leapfrogged everybody else here. Even Jeremy McKinnon, who came in 6 laps before anybody else.
Reynolds immediately finds himself in a battle with Andy Poliski, but Poliski's ahead.
Ryan Dye and Oz Kanar are the only holdouts here.
John Kay unlaps himself. Should the worst happen, John Kay will be past it. McKinnon looking to do the same. Chad Stearns underneath of the race leader as lap number 50 of 130 goes up on the board. Palawota in and out now of pit road.
Stearns and McKinnon here. This would be a battle for third after the completed pit cycle. Excuse me, this would be the battle for second after the completed pit cycle.
Garrett Rainey spun out on his pit exit and slammed the inside wall, picked up a meatball flag. So I think the 13 is out of it.
Reynolds pounding Poliski right now. He's getting to the inside here through the quad oval.
Again, 8th or better is the number here for Reynolds tonight, no matter what. This is to get up into 6th.
And unfortunately, they're catching McKinnon in a hurry here. McKinnon may box somebody in.
And
Looks
it'd be
like
his
it'll be
teammate.
Poliski.
Oddly enough, McKinnon, the second driver onto pit road, well ahead of the 32 and the 38. Ryan Dye is pitting this time, and Oskanar will follow. So John Kay, next time around, will inherit the race lead.
So for future reference, seems like 53, 54 laps is about as long as we can go.
We'll remember that for the Truck 200 All-Star race, which will be here at Charlotte. Speaking of All-Star races, tomorrow night, right here on Turn 200, the Daredevil Series All-Star race will be happening in a big way. All-Star race and the All-Star Open tomorrow night. Around our usual start time, just a little bit of extended action for you.
Also, speaking of All-Stars, need to give a shout-out to Flinky Roberts. He is also running a car inside camera here tonight. Really haven't talked about him much. He was up to 14th or 15th before the pit cycle. Here after the pit cycle, he was one of the later drivers to come in. Is already up to 16th again. So getting comfortable, showing some speed. But he has a big battle here in front of him. From a few different drivers. He has Luke Peterson right in front of him, and then it's Cole Maxwell, Paul Ellison, Nathan Palawota, and Jan Van Leer in front of him. He's got Speedy the Seal there in the back. Can't quite tell. Speedy did have a Daytona 500 hat on at one point. It's a little bit harder to tell what hat that is here. But the good look charm here for Flinky Roberts tonight as he moves into 15th past Maxwell.
Nathan Reynolds has just executed the pass on Chad Stearns to move up to spot number 2. Got the run out of 4, made quick work of him through the tri-oval, and Nathan Reynolds is gunning down his teammate John Kay for the race lead. It's already inside of a second here. Kay is fading quickly. I wonder if he had a problem through 3 and 4. It just looks like Reynolds is hauling the mail here in comparison. Teammate up 9/10 of a second almost immediately.
Yeah, Kay certainly struggling here. He's gone to the top side as he did in that first run as well. And
no fight.
Yeah, Kay struggled 15 laps into that first run as well. And a bit of the same here for the two. It's always interesting when we come into a championship finale and you have multiple drivers fighting for that championship, how focused they can be on each other. And a lot of times a non-championship contender ends up stealing the show and the win in these. And I think that's exactly what Chad Stearns is looking for here.
Chad Stearns has been biding his time up to this point, but I mean, is yet to leave the top 5 since he got up here. I mean, started third, faded pretty early in the race into that caution, and then came roaring back on that restart, and has been slowly trying to make his way up to the lead. But Nathan Reynolds showing the way. Has the championship well in hand. And we've seen a couple of championship battles here on the channel go down to the wire. That was not the case last season in the Venom Truck Series. Andy Poliski had it locked up. All he needed to do was take the green flag at Rockingham last season, and he had it won. So a bit of a different predicament heading into the Season 6 finale here tonight. 3 drivers eligible, but Reynolds well in hand here. Poliski going to let TJ Bartel go through. That will move Poliski back to 5th. Stearns drawing the beat on Kay now for 2nd.
Yeah, Stearns looked like he was going to get a good run there off the bottom of the corner, but just wasn't quite able to. He'll try it again here in turn 4. Just not quite there for the 05, but it looks like he's going to pull even through the quad oval.
All this battling has let Nathan Reynolds get away to the tune of about 1.3 seconds. That gap continues to grow, but now Chad Stearns, he's so close to being clear.
Kay doing a great job of fighting back. Does not want to give up this position to Stearns. But unfortunately, I don't think it's going to work. Stearns gets through.
Appreciate you hanging out here tonight, Eric. See you back here again in about a month. The Venom Truck Series Season 7. If you missed it, we're back at Daytona on October 17th.
I think at this point, I'm just going to start calling the 74 TJ Long Run Bartel.
He's
Anytime we have a green flag race and he gets to run this thing to the end of the fuel cycle, man, he is just good.
Made up positions in bunches on the the first restart of the race. He's now up 11 positions, tracking down John Kay. Not only is he good on the long run, he's good on mile and a halves and some of the oddball ovals that we go to. He was really good at Twin Rig Motegi, good at Dover, and was a runner-up finisher at Atlanta 2008 as well. So tracks like this are his bread and butter. Long green flag runs are his bread and butter. He is thriving right now underneath of John Kay, looking for third. Oh! Kay trying to leave space for Bartel. Might have hit the wall on turn entry, the turn number 3. Nathan Reynolds, 2 seconds, 2.2 ahead of Chad Stearns. Stearns not making up any time here as he's put this battle for third in the rear view.
And this battle still is not over. Much the same of what we saw from John Kay and Chad Stearns as well. Kay trying to hang on that outside. Bartel able to clear, will now set his sights on the 05. And Poliski is right here, almost within striking distance of John Kay as well.
And battle between Kay and Poliski really is, especially this far up the field, it's all window dressing, really. Because the man they need to be behind him is the one that is pulling the train behind him. But if John Kay can finish 5 spots ahead of Andy Poliski, I believe, Kay will finish second in the points. But that is not where John Kay wants to finish this season. We still got some time to change that, though. 61 laps to go. But it is all looking Nathan Reynolds right now.
That's certainly not what he wants, but, man, still a spectacular season, even if he comes up just a little bit short, as we are about 6 laps past the halfway point in this one. Probably about 15 laps or so from our second round of pit stops here. Good battle here a little bit farther back in the pack. It's Will Salamone and Jan Van Leer. This is for 13th. Jan Van Leer's blinking considerably here, so the 5 is going to fall back from the 99.
And not too far behind them, I was just getting ready to point out that Cole Maxwell was in the top 15, but just as soon as I was about to, he got passed by 4 trucks that are all running right here in this gaggle.
Yeah, well, this is a cluster, that's for sure.
Yes. Mark Dillon Jr. Actually, no, that was a few laps ago. Say Mark Dillon Jr. is into the pits, but I think he's having connection issues. Oh, Kyle Dumig up into the wall.
Kevin Sargent in the 09 trying to put in another good run here as Dye will look underneath of Rutherford, gets that spot easily here.
And Ryan Dye was in 6th before the green flag pit cycle started. He was the second to last driver to hit pit road. Look how far back it's put him.
Yeah, I mean, it's the last race of the season. Really nothing to lose. Want to try anything you can at this point, I guess. No harm, no foul.
And Ryan Dye very publicly and vocally has said this has been his season from hell. Even with the All-Star Race victory and the points-paying victory last week at Talladega, he says he wants to put it behind him and wants lap number 130 to come and go very quickly in this race.
Well,
We
he got
expect
his
a big
win of the
turnaround
year,
for him.
at least.
Yeah.
Albeit probably not how he was hoping for or expected, but
No.
got it nonetheless. Luke Peterson's gotten through on Brantley. Gainey and Palowoda were battling there for a while. Now Peterson is working his way through the field. Peterson, the most improved driver, voted on by the drivers of the Venom Truck Series, and he's proving it again here tonight.
Absolutely. It was kind of quiet to start the season, but really in this last quarter of the season, these last 4 or 5 races, he has turned it on. I think he's up in the top 5 in points, pretty close anyway. I mean, it has just been a whale of a run for driver number 89.
Bartel is now reeling in Stearns, and I say reeling in, he's right here.
I mean, these are the 2 long-run goats right here.
Most certainly. Bartel was sitting about 3 truck lengths back from Stearns for quite a few laps there and has now started to pour it on here on the 05. Stearns trying to keep this spot.
Behind them, Poliski and John Kay are side by side. Poliski trying to take that spot and is clear. So Poliski to 4th, John Kay back to 5th.
Yeah, Kay is just really struggling with the mid to long run speed here at Charlotte. Just hasn't quite figured it out. He's great here in the short run, but hoping to have learned a few things here in these first 2 runs. Trying to put together that last one here to the checkers, the last checker of the season.
Mark Dillon Jr. behind these 2, been on and off pit road. He's got fresh tires. He should be able to get by here rather quickly after his career best finish last week at Talladega. Connection issues tonight have taken him out of the running. Kay got awfully close to the wall there. .80 laps complete, 81 up on the board this time. Pit stops expected to be soon here for just about everybody.
Kay trying to mount a comeback. Nice run there off of turn 2 down the backstretch.
Poliski right down there in that paint.
Another nice run here for John Kay off of turn 4. This one we kind of counted him out here until pit stops. He comes a rumbling back.
These guys are nearly 5 seconds behind Nathan Reynolds. In front of them, Chad Stearns and TJ Bartel are just eking their way into the lead. It's still over 2 seconds, but they've been lapping hundredths of a second quicker than Nathan Reynolds.
And these
Here
two
come some
pushing
drivers
each
to
other
pit
hard.
road. Yes, they have. Absolutely. Steve Roman was pulling up to this John Kay Andy Poliski battle, and he came to pit road this time, or this last time around. So Roman might bring a couple of drivers in with him. Kevin Sargent and Rodney Matney, Raging Moose Racing teammates, hit pit road this time.
Wide there. That was of Kyle Dumig, who We've seen Short pit a couple of times, or the first time, and now has again here tonight. He was right there with Garrett Rainey. Or who that other truck was, I kind of missed it, but a little hairy going through wide here.
Poliski coming to pit road.
Looks like a good entry here for the 32.
Jeremy McKinnon will be pitting from 12th. Flanky Roberts is in. And I can imagine if Poliski leapfrogs Nathan Reynolds here, this is going to be our biggest defensive front we will have seen all night. But we got a few laps to wait and find out. Paul Sargent, Jan Van Leer on pit road this time. Now this is pod racing, says Jacob Nagy. Okay. Only one caution here tonight. This is our second round of green flag pit stops underway. Nathan Paluota, Oz Kanar getting ready to hit pit road. Tyler Bergert will as well. But only one driver in the top 5 has hit pit road thus far. Andy Poliski needed a big swing and taking it.
Looking into car inside here. Nathan Reynolds really haven't shown him a whole lot because he's just been so far out front of all the action here tonight. Just doing his thing, doing what he needs to do to wrap this championship up. Would love to do it with a win here. That's exactly what he's looking at. And
TJ Bartel in pit road.
Feeling comfortable. He can kind of stretch this out a little bit longer than maybe some of the other drivers. He did stretch it a few more laps than splitting the race into thirds on the first stop, so it can definitely go a few more here on this one.
Kyle Zittel pitting. John Kay in pit road. Corey Rutherford hitting pit road this time. Paul Ellison says he's down to his last lap of fuel, so expect him to come this time.
Looks like a good stop there for John Kay. Nicely into his pit box.
Pascal Samar, Michael Dean on pit road this time. Nathan Reynolds letting some lap traffic go through, but he is not pitting this time.
Haven't really seen him much here tonight. I just want to point out this awesome paint scheme from Eric Breeding, the Venom Truck Series scheme. Looks fantastic.
That is a pretty hot one.
Oh,
Corey Rutherford into the grass in the infield. Down through the tri-oval. We'll bring it back onto the track without issue.
I didn't quite see what happened there.
I didn't either.
Got up in the wall as well. It was just very odd. Meanwhile, Nathan Reynolds is down pit road here.
And Chad Stearns came in right behind him. I mean, he halved the gap between them. He was 1.6 seconds behind last lap, and they crossed the line there half a second apart.
Stearns overshot his pit stall. He had to back it up. So
oh, man.
All of that time he made up, he just lost.
Cole Maxwell on pit road. Yep, there goes Reynolds. And there's Stearns. Wow. That is unfortunate. Stearns certainly not out of it yet, but that did not help. There goes Andy Poliski around Nathan Reynolds. Luke Peterson, Ryan Dye have yet to come to pit road. So they will be the top two for the moment. Actually be Steve Roman and TJ Bartell ahead of Andy Poliski, I do believe. But John Kay has come out behind Nathan Reynolds, crucially. So Reynolds doesn't have to fight to get through John Kay, but will certainly have a fight on his hands when he gets up to the 32. Luke Peterson pits. Oh boy, Chad Stearns is absolutely blinking all over the track. I think, nope, he's back. Nope, he's gone. Man, he has had some serious issues here.
Kay gets himself underneath the Reynolds here. That was awfully close. And you're right, Chad Stearns is in and out about 25 times here in the last couple laps.
Well, I said no fight from John Kay. I was wrong about that. He's certainly giving it a go.
Pulled even, went for the move, couldn't make it stick. Reynolds still in front of the two here. And Steve Roman, who came into pit well before the rest of our drivers here, about 5-6 laps before most of our leaders. He's leapfrogged everybody. He will be in the lead after Ryan Dye does finally decide to come down pit road.
He is 4 seconds ahead of TJ Bartell. Bartell is 2 seconds ahead of Andy Poliski. Reynolds still has to go through the 32. So Reynolds may be in for the race win still, but TJ Bartell and Steve Roman both looking pretty good here.
Yeah, I think of those two, Bartell probably looks the best. Bartell came in on lap 88, Steve Roman on lap 82. And we've seen late in these runs just how much fall off there is.
Unfortunately, Eric Breeding, the second to last holdout, came into the pits and got a black flag for speeding. So Ryan Dye is all that stands between Steve Roman and retaking the lead, or actually taking the lead, rather, for the 00.
Kay and Stearns working through traffic here. Stearns had a great look, it seemed, on John Kay a lap or two ago.
And you should point out as well, if you have missed the clinch scenario, Nathan Reynolds is still well in control of this one. Poliski would need to find his way to the lead, and Reynolds drop back to 9th or worse. Right now, Poliski and Reynolds running 4th and 5th, so it is Nathan Reynolds' championship to lose at this point in time on lap number 100.
Ryan Dye finally down pit road. He'll only have 30 laps to the end of the race, so look for him to try to rocket through the field here. As Reynolds has finally gotten to Poliski, he's right underneath the 32. Caught him in a hurry there. When Poliski dips a couple of tires off into the grass.
It's turf here. It actually kind of helps.
You tell that to the drivers that dip their tires off in there.
I kind of aim for it, especially in coming out of 4. I kind of aim for the turf a little bit. Maybe that's why I don't finish very well here.
I was just going to say, how are your finishes usually?
Not good. Regardless of the vehicle, not very good.
Poliski starting to back up with both John Kay and Stearns. Stearns still hasn't been able to get around the 2 quite yet, but has a good run here off of 4.
Lap times for the top 3. Bartel and Reynolds are very close to one another, separated by 100th of a second, but they are both half a second quicker that last time around than Steve Roman. Bartel is catching the 00 here quickly.
Yeah, Roman at this point, he is over 20 laps into his run on that set of tires he got. Stearns able to get around Kay here. Kay drifted a little bit high there through turns 3 and 4. Now Stearns underneath of the 32. Inches ahead for now. Poliski tries to fight back, but it's just not there.
Poliski and Kay need a caution at this point. Question is, do they want to be a part of it or not?
This is where John Kay needs to hop on the radio and offer a free paint scheme to anybody that brings out the yellow. I can attest from personal experience some pretty fire paint schemes. I got a beautiful Jack's Pizza paint scheme for my birthday present from John Kay. It's absolutely legendary.
TJ Bartel's got a big run off of 4, and this is for the lead. Bartel underneath of Roman. Reynolds is outpacing both of these drivers up front. We'll have to see how much of that was setting up the pass. Bartel with some clean air here and the race lead.
Wow, what a way to end a season it would be for TJ Bartel. As we mentioned, had some really great runs. I don't think he's been able to put one together, if I remember correctly.
No. Still awaiting that first victory. He's come awfully close, though.
Thought he had a really great chance at the old version of Atlanta. Came up just a bit short.
And just a bit upside down as it happens.
But crossed the line nonetheless.
Yes. Yeah, that didn't change the outcome. He was going to finish second, but spectacular scene nonetheless. But Nathan Reynolds is outpacing the race leader by about 0.4 of a second this last time around. So it seems all but inevitable that the driver in the driver's seat for the championship is going to retake the race lead just for shiggles.
Reynolds easily through on Roman. Only a half a second here to TJ Bartel. 4-lap fresher tires. I think it may be all but inevitable here.
Once Reynolds catches Bartel, you have to check in on Flinky Roberts, who's running just outside of the top 10. He just chatted in the race. You have to see on the car inside cam if he is multitasking. The only other driver I've seen do that is Caleb Bensey.
I don't know how he does it, but I went to an official, got into an official truck race at New Hampshire here quite a while back, and he was chatting in the race to me, and I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. I can't respond right now. I am trying to race.
Incredible. Roland Holden in the chat says it's yours, Nathan. The championship is well in hand. Reynolds wants the win. Bartel may have to wait for another day to come away with his first victory because he has got Reynolds all over him.
Oh, Reynolds maybe just trying to force a bit of a mistake. Looked like a little wiggle from Bartel into turn number 1. Reynolds, good run. He's going to look to the inside here in turn 3.
Bartel's not going to find it. He is going to let the championship leader go through and back to the lead. Nathan Reynolds back out front, and the championship is 19 laps away.
not even as much as a sigh of relief here from Reynolds. He knows he's got to finish this thing out.
Yeah, the work is not over yet. He's got lap traffic to navigate through. Lap traffic can always be a little unpredictable. And then, you know, you've also got 28 other people out on the track that you have no control over whatsoever. And a caution late in the race here could produce absolute calamity from the championship runners and everybody else.
Well, here we go. We're going back to Flinky Roberts here. We've mentioned him a few times here on the broadcast. Hey, Flink, if you're listening, go ahead and show us that neat trick you got.
Oh, gosh. Please don't destroy the field as well. Not that I doubt your talents. It's just tough to do.
I saw him look to a different monitor or to something on the side. Maybe it could also be
Could be his agent.
well, either his agent or some telemetry or something. A lot of these drivers use some tools on a second or third monitor sometimes when they're driving for lap times or pit strategy and whatnot, just to see where everybody else is on the track as well, not using the in-sim timing and scoring. It's a lot easier to just look at a long list and try to cycle through your black boxes in iRacing.
Andy Poliski over the radio saying that he might be in a bit of trouble here. He just had a close call with Garrett Rainey on the track and now has lost the 5th position to John Kay and is faded back already by a second and a half. Top 10 as they run. It's Nathan Reynolds leading. TJ Bartell in second. Chad Stearns is closing in on the 74. Steve Vroman is in 4th. John Kay in 5th. Andy Poliski 6th. Nathan Palamoto running in 7th. Kyle Zittel in 8th. Luke Peterson in 9th. And Brantley Gainey right now rounds out your top 10.
Well, I think I know why Greg Flinky Roberts was not chatting with us. He's got a mirror full of the 12 of Jeremy McKinnon. And McKinnon is almost underneath. It looked like Flinky almost got into the wall.
It was awfully close.
I think McKinnon will complete the pass here.
Yeah.
Not quite. Roberts fighting back here on the outside.
Flinky was another driver that had a promising run late at Talladega. Get dashed off of a slightly bigger bump than he was expecting. He's running inside the top 5. Oh!
Whoa!
There's
Good
one person I don't want to be banging fenders. Jeremy McKinnon.
Good battle here between these two.
And McKinnon this time going to clear. Yep, he'll throw the block.
Oh, there goes Flinky for a crossover.
No,
Doesn't
maybe
quite
not.
have the run.
Yeah, I would give that one up. I wouldn't fight that one too much. Good battling, though.
I don't think Roberts is done here. He gets a run. He's looking underneath.
Wow. Takes it back.
Incredible run here. Now there's a crossover. What a battle here.
This is for 11th. Salamone and Michael Dean are not too far behind these two.
No.
Oh, boy.
I thought I was going to see a yellow fly there for just a split second.
Yes.
Very impressive here from Flinky Roberts on older tires than McKinnon as well, able to hold him off. Right behind them, Michael Dean and Salamone are battling here as well. Dean is going to go through easily here on the 99.
Luke Peterson is looking underneath of Kyle Zittel right now to get up to the 8th position. They got awfully tight at a turn number 4. Peterson not yet clear.
worry, folks. If something happens at the front, we'll let you know. But I want to highlight some of the great battling that happens every week here in the Venom Truck Series throughout the field.
And yeah, with the championship battle taking focus here tonight, we don't want to lose focus on a lot of these drivers who are having good races, good seasons as well. It's easy to do, especially when you got as good of a championship battle as we've gotten here this season. And oh, by the way, TJ Bartell, king of the long run, is starting to time faster than Nathan Reynolds here. Only about a second behind the race leader.
Oh, wow. Battle between Zill and Peterson I thought was over. Not quite. Peterson gets a little bit of a shot to the back bumper from the 53.
And these two, I do believe, will be teammates next season. But they're not tonight. Go at it. The slate is wiped clean.
Trying to show each other what they got to try to take home that team championship next season.
And yes, also to point out, the Alabama gang locked up the team championship a couple of weeks ago. I mean, with John Kay and Nathan Reynolds being a part of that team, they scored top marks almost every week this season. So they get a choice of track. Tonight's champion driver, this season's champion driver, rather, will get some choice tracks next season. And I'm excited to find out what they're going to be, because there are some opportunities for some wild track appearances next season.
You know we love that.
Absolutely. Some of the things I've seen floating around and knowing the way people did, it is going to be something.
Michael Dean, who came into pit on lap 90, with a little bit fresher tire, but not crazy more than some of these drivers he has just absolutely blown the doors off of. He's looking to get around Roberts now, and does. Ryan Dye right behind him, who didn't come to pit until lap 99. Also trying to make a push to the top 10 here. Not many laps left to do it, only 4 to go.
4 to go. We don't need a caution. Reynolds has picked up the pace. He's leaving Bartell behind again. So it is all Nathan out front. I would say it's Nathan's race to lose at this point, but I really think it's the field's race to lose to Nathan, if that makes sense. To lose for Nathan.
There you go.
Reynolds with clean air. He has one truck to pass here. And I'm not too sure it isn't his teammate Paul Ellison. So should have no problem there. 2 laps to go with the line. What a season it's been. Not just for Nathan Reynolds, but for everybody. This has been a fantastic season racing with the Venom Truck Series. We're a lap and a half away from putting the final touches on it.
You mentioned more at the top of the broadcast that Reynolds felt like he had something to prove to these guys, that just because he's been absent for in part-time doesn't mean he can't come right back and win a championship. And he's got one more lap to do it.
The final lap of the season. Nathan Reynolds down the back straightaway, looking to regain the championship that he never lost, heads up. And out of turn number 4, Nathan Reynolds, a 3-time champion in the Venom Truck Series.
He's already got one of the gloves off. He was taking them off through turns 3 and 4.
Bartel and Stearns round out the podium. John Kay, Andy Poliski finish 5th and 6th. Poliski will finish 2nd in the championship in his returning championship effort. John Kay with his best career points finish in 3rd. What a season by those two gentlemen. We'll bring both of them up into booth 200 if they are willing. But Nathan Reynolds, the champion driver of season number 6, it's his 3rd career championship. What a season for the Intimidator.
Yeah, and Reynolds gets a little love there from Stearns. Not even... I thought he was just going to pull it into the pits there. I thought we were going to skip the celebration.
I thought he was going for a roval lap.
There he is, folks. Getting some love from the teammates.
Maxwell and Zittel. It's customary for a lot of these guys to do burnouts here at the end of the season. A lot of drivers saying they're out of fuel. They can't do burnouts. Didn't realize we were cutting it that close.
Well, there were a lot of drivers that short pitted that last run to try something different, I think. And ran out of fuel here. Just a lap or two after the finish.
Nathan Reynolds celebrating with his fellow Venom Truck Series drivers after taking his 3rd career championship in his 3rd full-time season. It is win number 5 on his championship season. It is career victory number 17 in his 67th start. And after Charlotte Motor Speedway robbed him of victory in Season 2, he gets to stand on top here tonight. Well, we got a lot of people to talk to here, so we'll go and run through your full finishing down. Reynolds, Bartel, Stearns, the top 3. Steve Roman, John Kay, your top 5. Andy Poliski will finish in 6th. Nathan Paluota then will finish in 7th. Luke Peterson will finish in 8th. Kyle Zittel in 9th. Brandon Gainier will round out your final top 10 of season number 6. Good drive for Michael Dean there late. He will finish in 11th. Flanky Roberts will finish in 12th. Ryan Dye 13th. Jeremy McKinnon in 14th. Jan Van Leer 15th. Will Salamone 16th. Corey Rutherford 17th. Rodney Matney in 18th. Paul Ellison 19th. And Oz Kanar won that down in 20th. Tyler Berger 21st. Cole Maxwell 22nd. Pascal Samar 23rd. Paul Sargent in 24th. Eric Breeding in 25th. Kevin Sargent 26th. Kyle Dumick 27th. Garrett Rainey 28th. Mark Dillon Jr. 29th. Brody Gunter in 30th. And Michael Krall was in the session. I don't think he ever turned a lap, though. So we are waiting anybody to come to the waiting room. We want the podium finishers. We want our championship runners up. And we want, of course, our champion and race winner as well. But he's going to have to wait a little bit longer than usual. Chad Stearns is usually an in-demand man. We'll have to see if he is even in the Discord right now. Does not look like he is. So we might go ahead and skip ahead to our second place finisher. Another runner-up finish for this gentleman. He's back at booth 200. TJ Bartel. Welcome back to the booth, partner. A fantastic run here tonight for you. It's great to have you back up on the podium.
Thanks, guys. I didn't know if I'd make it back up here or not. I was not optimistic in practice, I can tell you that.
And why is that?
Balance of the truck seemed awful. It was super plowing tight on entry, and I was loose center off, and I was exactly the opposite of the way I like to drive the thing, so I wasn't optimistic. I didn't qualify too bad, all things considered, but the truck drove really nice in the race. I was backing up my entry, saving the right front, and it had really good long run pace.
I was going to say this track and this race had two things that tick boxes in your camp, and that's it's a mile and a half, and it's great for long run pace if you can get it, and those seem to be both of your sort of things that you have cornered here.
Yeah, cautions probably would have put a dent in my, long run strategy there, but luckily we didn't have them, and I was able to capitalize on that.
Matt, what do you got?
Congrats on the P2. Great to get to talk to you here again. Yeah, I mean, just incredible long run speed from you all season long. Talk to me about your strategy a little bit coming here into tonight. Was it just to kind of split the race into thirds, or were you thinking about maybe taking one stint, a lot longer than some of the others, or what were your thoughts on that?
Well, once when the race got started and I kind of was working my way up towards the front, I was kind of playing out what I might or might not do, and I was thinking about running long, and I was like, then I'm going to lose touch with the guys that I raced so hard to catch up here in the lead. So I wanted to pit near the time they did so I didn't lose any time on them. And then the last run, I said, I can't outrun the 38 for sure, and me and the 05 were pretty close, and I was like, I'm going to try short pitting and just see if I can't get out and get some clean air and just get in front of those guys and see what happened. And lucky enough, it kind of worked out where we fell into second there once Nathan got around us and just kind of held on there.
Well, you got anybody you want to shout out here tonight?
Oh, yeah. First and foremost, Turn 200.
Hey.
Awesome broadcasters. Tommy and Matt, love you guys. You do an awesome job. Always love going back and watching these. And I'd like to thank the Venom admins. They do a good job giving us a good place to race here. And I have to thank, first and foremost, Raging Moose Racing, my teammates, Paul Sargent, Kevin Sargent, and Rodney Matney. Those guys have been such a pleasure to work with. We've had a good season. I think we've shown the guys in the league that we're here, and we're here to race, and we can be competitive.
Absolutely, and hoping to see you back here for season 7. I think with the momentum that you and Rodney and Kevin of late as well have put together, I think you guys are going to be a force to reckon with down the stretch here next season if we are so lucky as to have you again. But thank you very much for repping the Turn 200 colors on the truck. We really appreciate it, and we love seeing it run no matter where you are, but it's even better to see you back up here on the podium. So congrats on the great run here tonight.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it.
All right, we're going to go ahead and pull up our third place points finisher, presumably anyway. We haven't got the final numbers, but we do believe that John Kay will finish in third in the points. So we'll bring him up now. We'll ask him a couple of questions, and then I think we're going to talk to our championship-winning team as well, which John Kay, of course, is a part of with the Alabama gang. Fifth place finish for John Kay here tonight. Welcome to Booth 200. First of all, congratulations on a fantastic season. I know it didn't really turn out the way you wanted to, but it shouldn't take away anything from the fact that this is a fantastic season here.
Yeah, I mean, damn. I mean, I don't know what to say, honestly. It's been a wild ride. Obviously, the last 3 weeks didn't really work out in my favor. I think if we could have kept it a little closer, I don't think it would have mattered much once we come here. But it's a great season. 4 wins, pretty much like doubled my career win total, or doubled it, or something crap like that. So
doubled it.
doubled it. So I mean, it's just crazy. 4 wins in a season is nuts. I never even thought I would win one race. And to some of the people who thought I would never win a race, you can shove it, because I'm a good race car driver in a sim. So, what a season. Hopefully we come back and instead of, detonating in the last 3 races going into the finale and pit with 2 laps to go when nobody else pits, I think we're going to be in fighting form next season.
Matt, what do you got for your boy John here?
Man, just huge congratulations. I mean, if we go back to last season, you were part-time. You did win a race in North Wilkesboro and showed a lot of speed in the races that you showed up to. Coming into this season, what were the expectations? I mean, were the expectations to be here fighting for a championship in this last race?
Absolutely. I mean, I got a great group of friends that give me a lot of support, and I'm teammates with them. Garrett has a lot of faith in me. Paul has a lot of faith in me. And when things were rough last year, when I was waiting to race and I was looking for a new home, they welcomed me in with open arms. I raced with Paul in season 2, and I mean, he's such a great teammate to have, and he's always so positive. Even when I'm down on myself a little bit and struggling, he's always there to pick me up. Same thing with Garrett. Garrett's always has positive affirmation, and he gives me a swift kick in the ass when I need it, and it usually turns out good. And I told him that the goal this year was, instead of chasing trophies like I was last season when I came back, I was going for the big one, and to be swinging with heavyweights like Nathan and Andy, and I'm sure Ryan will get back to it at some point, being up at the front of the points. So I'm looking forward to that. But to know I can hang with those guys, not just to win races, but to win a driver's championship it's a big confidence boost. We're gonna get the wheel and pedal situation figured out. I switched wheels like a week before the season started, or 2 weeks before the season started. So still got some learning to do to get back to, I think, being as good at saving tires as I was on my old T150. So some little things to work on in the off season, but I'm going to be back next year, and I'm going to be better, and coming to win the whole effing thing. Shout out Jake Taylor from Major League.
Well, we're going to bring your team up here in a second, so you don't need to thank them yet. But anybody else you want to shout out here tonight?
Yeah, it's been a while. I got to shout out my girlfriend. She's working on grad school stuff again, and she's awesome. I love her to death. Super proud of her for doing what she does and putting up with my BS, which is basically being loud, making weird noises, and screaming about fake race cars driving like crap. I got to shout out my mom and dad. I think my dad's still watching, so shout out my dad. Love you. Shout out my mom. Love you too. Thanks for having me, not getting rid of me like you could have. Wow. Shout out Walmart for employing me. Shout out my little buddy RJ that watches a lot of my YouTube videos. Shout out any of the Derby guys if they end up seeing this up in Nomish. The announcer can wheel it too. So and shout out you guys. Y'all are family now. You're sticking around. Hopefully we can get a friends and family discount or some shit, because you guys are expensive, but it's well worth it because you're good at what you do. And my God, if I wasn't racing in these things and race like crap sometimes, I would go back and watch every race 3 or 4 times, because it's so entertaining. If you're not subscribed already, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Don't miss a damn thing that Turn 200 does. These guys are absolute gold, and they're even better people than they are announcers. So wow. Shout out to them. I have one gripe with old Matty Will here. I ain't seen a picture of you running that truck I sent you yet, so I expect to see that soon.
It did get a shout out on the broadcast tonight for the
I did. Tonight? I thought I heard it last week.
Well, probably
you got a big one here. You got a big one here tonight, so go back and watch.
Heck yeah. I'm definitely gonna. Also, I got to shout out. There's a couple of guys that I race against every week that I got to shout out. I got to shout out Andy Poliski. I mean, that's a dude that he, as good as he is and as competitive as he is and as bad as he wants to win, he is so helpful when it comes to helping teach people things. And I finished 6th at Homestead. I probably could have won it if I hadn't screwed up, but I wouldn't have even been close without him and his help. Shout out Jeremy. Jeremy's always around. I love racing against him. He's uber aggressive, but he's so clean and so much fun to race with. And I'm super happy that I get to race around him. And he's honestly made me a better qualifier. So shout out to Jeremy for the pole tonight. Shout out Ryan Dye. Ryan's another just awesome person to race with. And he's, that's where we got the Allstate John K thing from. But he's always fun to be around. Shout out Michael Dean, Michael Kral, Jan, Brantley Gainey. Those guys are always in practice, always messing around. And shout out Luke Peterson. Luke's one of the guys that if I text him and say, hey, I'm setting up a practice, do you want to fool around some? He's always down. And he's been a big reason why I've been so successful this year also. And Kyle Zittel for being really decent. Brandon Vyers, too bad we're not running dirt next year. Man, I'm pissed about that. But I don't know if I said Jan. Shout out Jan, my amigo. Hey, shout out my YouTube channel, JK Gaming. Make sure to go subscribe to that. Some cool stuff coming out whenever I decide to edit it. And there is gonna be a Bristol vlog. We're going to Bristol this weekend, and I'm gonna vlog it. As bad as that might be, and as canceled as we might get, we're gonna send it.
Well, there you go. Speaking of sending it, get ready for some sound effects here.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be awesome.
Yeah, yep. There's one. Okay. Well, we got the team champions up here as
Thanks,
well,
Tony.
or at least.
Thank you.
Yep, 3/4 of them. Garrett Rainey and Paul Ellison. We'll talk to Nathan here in just a second. But
Nobody likes that guy, anyways.
Well, I mean, he was certainly an integral part to the team, but you two were as well, the team champions. Congratulations on that. I guess we'll start with Garrett. I think we talked to you a couple of times this season, had some good runs. How do you feel about the season as a whole?
Every goal that I could ever have imagined when putting this team together came to good fruition this season. Me and Paul sat down as co-owners of this team in the offseason. We knew we had some roster turnover, and we really had to have some discussions about who we wanted to bring on board. And it was very quick discussions. When you're talking about guys the caliber of John and Nathan and what they bring to the table, it's unmatched. And before the race, I told them thank you for everything they've done, and I'll reiterate that here. Those guys have brought it every week. They've went out there and they put on a show, and quite frankly, it can't be done any better. I couldn't have asked for any more out of those guys, whether that be helping in the days prior to races, race day, helping with strategy, helping us get around the track, the finishes they put together to get the points. It can't be done again. I think this is the most wins the team's ever had in a season. Those two guys went out there and got them all. We've won by the largest margin of victory in team championship history in this league. Also, that couldn't be accomplished without those guys. So, all props to them. I'm speechless, honestly, at how much they've done for us and this team.
Paul, anything to add to that?
Yeah. Yeah, when me and Garrett decided to do this team, I told him there was one driver I wanted to race with again if he ever had a chance to, and that was John. And then when I found out Nathan was available too, I was like, do it, So, this is like a dream team for me. I had so much fun this year, even though the results wasn't what I wanted to be for me and Garrett. Watching John and Nathan do well, and on our sister team, Luke and Eric run. Luke really improved this year, and that's what I was hoping we'd get out of him. So, just an awesome season.
Absolutely. Anybody you two want to shout out here to wrap up your fantastic season?
For me, it's these guys, man. These guys I race with every week. I have the pleasure of racing with in the league, but primarily this team: Paul, John, Nathan, and then our sister teammates. So in Superkick, Eric and Luke. You couldn't ask for a better group. These guys, they're fun to race with. They take it just serious enough to where it becomes a challenge. And honestly, when the best competition on the track's on your team, it just makes it a lot more fun. Appreciate those guys.
I just want to say thank you to everybody in the Venom series. It takes more than one person to do this. It takes more than just a few people to do it. If it wasn't everybody on the track, minding their P's and Q's, we wouldn't have what we have. So.
Well, there you go. Congrats on the team championship, guys, and go get again in season 7. Not too long to wait.
That's the plan. We'll be back.
All righty. They're all moved out. Appreciate the patience from this man, the runner-up in the points. Andy Poliski now joins us in booth 200. Sixth place finish for you here tonight. But I mean, a fantastic season for you through and through in your championship defense efforts. I don't know what was going to take really in the last couple of weeks to change how this went down.
I needed to do Bristol over again. That's about the only thing. But honestly, tonight, if I needed a caution, like 15, 20 to go, I had really good short run speed, but I couldn't run very fast after 20 laps. So it just, what I was doing was hurting the tires too much. So if we had a caution 15, 20 to go, I think I might have been able to make a run for the win, or at least give Nathan a little bit of a challenge there. But it is what it is.
Absolutely. A fantastic season for you, though, through and through. Matt, what do you got here?
Just congrats on the entire season here. I mean, you've put together another special one. Coming off as a reigning champion, it's very hard to repeat, obviously, and you were just a little bit short. But man, you put together a good one. You gonna take some time off here into season 7, or are we hitting the track and trying to get a little bit faster and go for that, or do you need some time off here?
I'm not sure what the future holds just yet, so we'll kind of wait and see. I got some personal things off to the side that we got to do. I got some fake championship merchandise to get rid of, so we'll be sending a care package to Ethiopia with 32 VTS championship merchandise like we've done in years past. And we'll see come season 7. Like you guys said, it's hard to repeat. I did everything I could this season to try to repeat. It just, man, competition stuff, week in and week out. John and Nathan did an excellent job. I mean, I can't say enough for them. I mean, they put me on my toes week in and week out. You couldn't take a week off. You couldn't have a bad week. So.
Anybody else you want to thank or shout out here tonight?
My family, my wife and daughter, they support me a lot, week in and week out. My sponsors, Nissan Wichita Falls, on the truck again. Should be on the truck again next season. So hopefully we see some cool paints with that. And then you guys in the booth, like I've said before, week in, week out, watching this stuff back. It's you guys do an excellent job. It's fun to watch. And then everybody in the league. It's been a blast this season. A lot of competition, a lot of great competition, a lot of great racing all the way through the field. So it's tough whether you're up front or in the back. It's tough to run through the field. It's tough to race these guys. These guys are really good. So a lot of fun this season. Looking forward to the next one.
Whether we get you one time or 16 times next season, expecting many more Booth 200 appearances for you. Congrats on the season, and rest up. Hopefully we get you for Daytona here in a few weeks.
Yes, sir. Hope to be on your channel quite a bit next season. So.
All righty, we've made him wait long enough. He race winner here tonight. The season 6 champion, Nathan Reynolds. Welcome back to the booth. Congratulations on the win and the championship, man.
Thanks, guys. I'm feeling pretty good. Last time I won a title here in Venom, the Braves went on to win the World Series, so I'm hoping I bring them some more good luck.
Now, yeah, could you bring that kind of luck to my Jets, please? That would be
gosh.
But keeping on topic here, what a night for you. It's talking to Ryan Dye just kind of through the wire. It sounded like he didn't think you sounded very confident about tonight. I know things didn't go well for you here last time at Charlotte, but I mean, it looked like a pretty good night for you, all things considered. What was the concern, and how did you overcome it?
I really don't think there was any concern. I just simply didn't want to talk about it. So honestly, tonight was business as usual. I come into it like a must-win. I know that sounds crazy, but I didn't want to come in here just thinking, oh well, if I do this, if I do that. You start doing that, then you become complacent and you find yourself in trouble and somewhere you don't need to be. And that's a position that I've been in a couple times this year that I'm still kicking myself over. And come in here tonight doing my thing, and that's being aggressive and trying to go as fast as we can and just let the chips fall where they may. And if we found ourselves in trouble, then we'd have our little deal with the work to fall back on, knowing what position we needed to be in. And so we just attacked. I just really didn't want to talk about it coming into the week. I didn't want to jinx it or anything.
And I can't remember what lamp you made the final pass on, but it was inside of 30 to go, I do believe. Once you get out front, is it just dreading seeing that yellow flag come out at any point?
In most cases. Tonight I felt like I had it covered. But no, I definitely didn't want to see it because, of course, you restack and then anything can happen. So you constantly looking up in the spot where my yellow flag would be. I'm pretty sure I've seen it flash a couple times in my mind. But, it's just trying to get out in the clean air and just not look back. And I tell you, those laps, they click off really slow when you're in a spot like that. You're just kind of waiting for it to be over, waiting to see that white flag pop up there. And I was glad to see it.
Matt, what do you got for the champ here?
Well, first of all, massive congratulations, but I do have a question that I think we're all wondering. Obviously, you had won 2 championships prior to this season. You went part-time and felt like you maybe had something to prove to show the boys that you can come in a full season and win that championship right back. What are the plans for season 7?
Well, I guess it's official. We got one more season, at least one more season here with the Alabama gang, and I'm not gonna say full time, even though the intent is to be full time. I never say never, but there's this commitment to run every race that we can and be here and compete for another one. And honestly, I feel like I still have things to prove. I'm not the happiest with how this season went. I left a lot out there and made a lot of mistakes. And I kind of want to, in a way, I want to one-up myself. And I think we got one more season left to do just that. And then, of course, the season after that, springtime and coaching baseball and softball and everything going on. I'm sure we'll be back to part-time, at least through the spring and summer months. But for the immediate future, I think we got one more season in us, at least going for another one, maybe go back-to-back twice.
Yeah, it's back-to-back seems to be the trend. Poliski is now the only champion to not go back-to-back. We've yet to see if you'll do that in season 7. I have to guess you're probably the betting odds favorite. Just a guess, though. We've had you up here in the booth a lot here this season. Of course, this is win number 5. You've got 9 podiums this season. Outstanding work from you. And we've heard a lot of shout-outs from you here, but one more time, give us your shout-outs and who you're wanting to thank here tonight from the top step of the entire season.
Shout out to a lot of my family and friends. My phone was really blowing up there as across the finish line. Quite a few people messaging me. So thanks to them, to everyone. Love you guys. Of course, Nitro Racing. You can get your setups for the open world over at nitroracing.com. Check those guys out. As you can see them on the truck. NASCAR report. Silly season keeps getting closer and closer. A lot of things happening. And I appreciate RJ and him getting my name out there in the early beginning and helping me with everything that I've gotten on YouTube. I'm actually about to cash out on my first big YouTube check, so that's really cool, and I appreciate all the followers that have been helping me with that as well. And of course, last but certainly certainly not least, I've said this before, but big shout out to the Alabama gang and all my teammates and everybody that races with me. It's hard for me to get in here and really practice and put a lot of the effort in throughout the week, and those guys provide a lot of data and get me up to speed really quick whenever I sit down in the rig and go, and especially throughout the summer months and everything. So I thank those guys. And breaking news, as you guys know, the champion gets to make his 3 picks for the following season schedule. I'm not going to tell you what tracks because I wanted to, but we actually haven't decided yet. But I want to defer my picks. I don't want to make any picks. I want it to be about the team and those guys working hard and winning the team championship. And so we got 3 guys on the team aside from me, and we got 3 picks. So I'm going to let those guys work amongst themselves and pick our 3 races that we're going to go to there next season and see what they come up with.
That is exciting news. I certainly would not give that power away. You're awfully gracious to do that. But congrats on the team championship. We brought the team up earlier and saved you for last. But congrats on the team championship. Congrats on the race win. And congrats on the drivers' championship here. What a fantastic season you had.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Thanks for all you do. Wonderful broadcast season, and look forward to watching more next season.
All right, Matt. It's the end of the season. Wow. It was a good one. I mean, Nathan walked away with it here tonight, but I mean, to have 3 drivers in it at the end of a season is always going to be electric, and this season was nothing short of that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously last season was our first season here at the Venom Truck Series, and man, we saw some really great stuff for them, but wasn't sure if they could really top it, and lo and behold, here we are, championship race, 3 drivers very much in the hunt, just great battles throughout the field all season long. They have won up themselves again, so I'm going to say it again. I don't know how they're going to do it in season 7, but they proved us wrong once. Maybe they'll prove us wrong again, but man, just shout out to first of all the league admins that have asked us to come back here for this season and want us back for season 7 as well. We very, very much enjoy doing this and are so happy that they enjoy our broadcast, and it seems like everybody throughout the field does. And just shout out to all the drivers that come out and race with them and support us. Most of them, if not all of them, are subscribers to the channel and go back and watch the races. So just shout out to everybody in this league, and shout out to everybody that was out here chatting with us. We had quite the crew here for the championship race. I got a big long list to go through here. So first of all, we got Ryan W., Wes Brown, Eric Elgin, Jacob Nagy, Donald St. Germain, Melissa Reynolds, Mike Berry. Let's see. Hunter was in here. Lindsey G, Brian K, Thomas Maxwell. Who else? Oh, Flinky was in here during the race. That was quite something. I've been talking to him a little bit here as we're doing interviews. Drew Littlefield and Cole Maxwell was in here as well, here right at the end. So just shout out to everybody that's come on board here this season, has subscribed and been chatting with us throughout the races. We always love to have some people to talk to while the action is going on, and hope that you've enjoyed the action as much as we have.
Absolutely. Action abundant here in Season 6. Expecting that and more in Season 7. Hope to be able to provide his schedule soon. Ryan Dye has been teasing us relentlessly about it. But the good news is I've been doing the exact same thing to him about the Daredevil season, or the Daredevil series season number 4 schedule, which will be revealed tomorrow night, live on stream, for the Daredevil All-Star Race. The first ever Daredevil series All-Star Race and the All-Star Open tomorrow night around the same normal time, about 7:30 Eastern. So I guess a little bit earlier than usual. But still, we're going to have a absolute big blowout sale for Season 3. Tomorrow night, we are doing the Jacksonville Speedway 0-0 Challenge pot drawing. We are drawing live on air for the starting positions for the All-Star Race, doing the All-Star Open. doing the Season 4 schedule reveal. It is not a night to be missed tomorrow night. You absolutely want to be here for the Daredevil series. And oh yeah, by the way, it's at Gateway. The racing at Gateway is fantastic with the Lotus 79, so you absolutely want to be a part of it. You also want to be a part of the action on Thursday night for Maximum Velocity Racing League at Mid-Ohio. The trucks doing the left and rights at Mid-Ohio is going to be a blast. Monday night. Between Monday night and Thursday night, Sunday afternoon, it is our first ever official broadcast in iRacing. It is the Strength of Field Top Split race for the Porsche Mission R Challenge. That is going to be here about 3 o'clock Eastern Time on Sunday afternoon. Absolutely so excited to get to an official broadcast series under our belts here on Turn 200. Then on Monday night, it is the halfway point of Truck 200 season at North Wilkesboro. And next Tuesday, we will not be here because there is no Venom Truck Series action for just a little bit. But you don't have to wait long. October 17th, Daytona. Rocket Man Memorial 85 back on the menu. Season 7 of the Venom Truck Series will be underway in just about a month's time. And we cannot wait to bring the action back to Tuesday nights. But we do have to wait a little bit longer. So between now and then, thank you very, very, very much to each and every one of you who have come out and watched at any point this season and commented. We greatly appreciate your time. These drivers do as well. We can't thank everybody with the Venom Truck Series enough. Greatly appreciate them. And very much looking forward to season number 7. This is a great group of drivers, a great group of people. And wouldn't want to do anything else with our Tuesday nights here. For anything. Wouldn't rather do anything. So can't wait for season 7. Can't wait to have everybody back here on Tuesday nights. But until we meet again, for everybody with the Venom Truck Series, for the GOAT, Matt Williamson, I'm Tommy Cook. We are saying so long from virtual Charlotte Motor Speedway, where Nathan Reynolds takes the win and takes his 3rd career championship in the Venom Truck Series.